Egyptian and the 4th president of the Central African Republic. From the 1st of September, that's today, 1981, until the 1st of October, 1993. How did he become president? Who truly was he? Let's see. He was born on the 12th of August, 1936 in Bangui, the capital of the French colony of Ubangishari in the French Equatorial Africa, today called the Central African Republic. He was a member of the Yakoma ethnic group. In fact, his name Kolingba means the buffalo. That's the African pronunciation, buffalo. In America, they say buffalo. In England, they say buffalo. But we say buffalo. Just like the Jamaicans. Bob Marley said the same thing, buffalo soldier. But the correct pronunciation is buffalo. If you go to America and say buffalo, they will laugh at you and then they will nickname you Buffalo Man. If you go to England and say buffalo, they will laugh at you. It's buffalo. Buffalo. My brother, my sister, he was called Kolingba, which means buffalo or buffalo in his language of Yakoma. He joined the military in 1954. My brother, my sister, 1954. He was only 18 at the time. Hey, he joined the military. 18. And he received military training at the École de Formation des Officiers Ressortissants des Territoires d'Outre-mer. My brother, my sister, and it's located at Fréjus. He was transferred to the Central African Army at independence in 1960. So he was trained by the French. For 6 solid years. He was so used to the French and they loved him. Because as a little 18-year-old, he rose through the ranks, very smart and sharp. As a military officer, he also worked at the Radio Bangui. They say Radio Bangui, where he became a host of a magazine program about armed forces, classical music, and even more. In no time, he became very popular because of radio. It was there he met his girlfriend, who later became his wife, Muriel Kotalimbora. That's her name, Muriel Kotalimbora. What a powerful name. My brother, my sister, he rose through the ranks. And we all remember Jean Bokassa. How many of us remember Jean Bokassa, Bidel Bokassa? Jean Bidel Bokassa. He was a dirty dictator in that country who tormented the people, killed a lot of people, school children included. Jean Bidel Bokassa. So much of a spendthrift. He stole a lot of money. In fact, he was an aide de camp to Bokassa. My brother, my sister, and he served Bokassa all the way through. Then he was chosen as ambassador of CAR, the Central African Republic, to Canada. He replaced Sylvestre Bangui. From soldier to ambassador, aide de camp, come and even more. My brother, my sister. He was then named minister in 1979, March of 1979. When Bokassa was overthrown the same year, David Dacko was restored to power by the French. Remember, Bokassa came in after overthrowing Dacko. Yes, he removed Dacko and became president. Bokassa was removed and Dacko was brought in. This was 1979. Do you understand, students? So the president is here, The president is removed. Another man comes in. He's there for some time. This one is overthrown. And the former president is brought back to be president. That was David Dako. They say David Dako. My brother, my sister, little did he know that another coup d'etat was coming. Just 2 years later, in September 1981, today, Kolingba, our man for today, overthrew Dako in a coup d'etat. In fact, France supported him. The French military also supported him. Remember, he had his training with the French for 6 solid years, and they liked him. At the time, my brother, my sister, it was President Francois Mitterrand. My brother, my sister, France supported him. He ran down the country, saddled the country with debt. The IMF and the World Bank had a field day, my brother, my sister, jumping in and out of the country, helping to destroy the country even the more. Hey. He was there all the way, my brother, my sister, from 1981. He stayed there because the French had a good relationship with him, and he gave the French and many more the chance to come in and do just anything they wanted. My brother, my sister, hey, he also favored his fellow Yakoma ethnic group, put them in positions, administrative, financial, and military posts. This was what he did. Hey, my brother, my sister, crazy. His years of office further saw the return of Jean-Bidel Bokassa to the Central African Republic. After all, that was his boss. My brother, my sister, he came back into the country. He was sentenced to death in absentia. But when he returned, Kolingba, who was his very good friend, decided to commute this to a life sentence in 1988. That was what happened. Despite all the atrocities, my brother, my sister, he overthrew Dako and became president. He was in there, my brother, my sister, until France got tired of him. Hey. France got tired of him and decided that it was time for him to also go. Hey, look at what he did. Very dangerous man. A lot of dirty things happened in that country. And in 1991, he was forced to hold free elections. And this took place in 1992. Assisted by the UN Electoral Assistance Unit and monitored by the international observers, Kolingba finished last. He was last. He was the least voted for. The people were tired of him, with only 10% of the vote. In response, he had the Constitutional Council declare the election invalid because he lost. Can you believe that? Kolingba's presidential mandate was due to expire on the 28th of November 1992, but he carried out a constitutional coup d'etat, which extended his presidential term for another 90 days. At multiple occasions throughout the 1992 period, the government took violent action against protesters and carried out extrajudicial executions, killing people by heart, just like his boss, Jean-Bidel Bokassa. In fact, they beat up to death the ADP politician Jean-Claude Kunjogu and the killing of a pregnant woman by name Hermine Yakite on her way to hospital to give birth after she resisted attempts to commandeer her car. My brother, my sister, on the 3rd of February 1993, Kolingba established an interim organ, the National Provisional Political Council of the Republic. Hey, he didn't want to leave power. He was still hanging on to power, using brute force to kill his own people. Hey. But there was so much pressure, even from France, to leave the place. And he knew the consequences if he didn't. My brother, my sister, he ran again. And this time round, he came forth with only 12% of the vote. Hey. And this was well short of a spot in the runoff. Ange Patasse won the presidency in the second round on 19th September 1993. Kolingba turned over the presidency to Patasse a month later. It marked the first and to date the only time since independence when an incumbent president peacefully surrendered power to the opposition, and it was all because France was tired of him. But 8 years later, in 2001, on the 9th of the 27th, getting into the 28th of May 2001, a coup attempt against President Patasse took place but failed. 2 days later, Kolingba claimed responsibility for the attempted coup through Radio France International and demanded that Patasse resigned and handed over power to him, Kolingba again. Patasse reacted by demoting Kolingba and 4 other officers to the rank of private. On the 1st of June, Kolingba called on the other coup plotters to lay down their arms and attempted to negotiate with Patasse, which the latter refused. Shortly after, weapons were found in Kolingba's residence. He fled to Kampala in Uganda to evade trial. He was found guilty in absentia by the Central African Republic Court and sentenced to death. 21 of Kolingba's associates, including 3 of his sons, also received a death sentence. My brother, my sister. But Patasse was finally overthrown in March 2003 by Francois Bozize, who declared an amnesty for all the people involved in the 2001 coup d'etat. Kolingba finally returned to Bangui on the 5th of October 2003. My brother, my sister, 2 years after his running away to Kampala, and when he arrived, my brother, my sister, he granted a lot of interviews as a radio person. He attended conferences and spoke against Patasse, my brother, my sister, but he fell ill. And later left for France on the 2nd of November the same year to treat prostate cancer. He died there on the 7th of February 2010, 7 years after he returned to his country. My brother, my sister, he received a number of awards. Oh yes, even the devil has fans. My brother, my sister, he left behind 12 children and a wife by name Mekriel Kotalimbora Kolingba. Today, my brother, my sister, we remember one of the most terrible leaders of the country, Central African Republic, André Kolingba. He was a sellout. He sold to France and some other nations. He died of prostate